Welcome back. I have with me Tim Atimoe, the lead facilitator at Tim Atimoe Consults Limited and an author. And I also have Engineer Ifeanyi Uzochukwu has been with me. Welcome, Mr. Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you. We were on a serious issue on the before, and I want Engineer Ifeanyi to just land on the point of the youths. Let me just pick you up.
Okay, there. You know, you asked the question why, if the youths have the opportunities of doing any better.
Yeah.
But we know currently why there was even the issue of not too young to run.
Yeah.
Was that the current system is not working.
Okay.
We've always heard about it, the youth, the future of tomorrow.
Yeah, but you know, we were just talking about what are the youth has been doing before, and looking at if there is any change of mind now, looking at the literacy level of some of the youths in voting rightly.
Yeah, I think now most of them, especially in the church, are more informed. You know, before the church has not really been active, especially in voter, in even education of the members as why they need to be active in politics. But now they are more aware. But being educated may not have really a connection with being politically informed, because there are many, the shoe cobblers and so on, meruas and so on, as we have in the north here. There are margeries who are more informed as regards elections than even those who claim that they're educated. So I think it's about, maybe we can call it political education now. Those who are educated politically or informed, at least to make informed decisions. Because when you have that academic education, it also helps you when you are also informed politically to look at the candidates that are being presented to you, and then for you to make an informed decision of who you think will be able
Should
to
be better.
Okay,
now let's look at Mr. Tim. Before I come to focusing on your book, how will you assess the youths of this country and politics and governance?
Currently or
Yes.
previously?
Let's take previously and let's look at the current situation.
Currently,
now.
it's very obvious that there is this awareness.
Okay.
There is this awakening.
Okay.
10, 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. The youth then, I don't think I was a youth 20 years ago, there wasn't this interest to know what exactly is happening and trying to make certain things work. We felt it was for the adults. And then those who were there took advantage of that. But now the social media has also helped too, for those who cannot, pick up things to go out there. Through the social media, they're trying to add their voice. So things are way better off now.
And you are expecting a shake-up?
Hopefully, yes.
Somebody will say you are trying to shake the table.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you wrote a book, and the book is The Nigerian Dream. Okay, so that's a book for the youth. Yeah. The Nigerian Dream. Find Your Voice. So, what inspired you about this book?
Okay, thank you. The Nigerian Dream, Find Your Voice. Yeah. What inspired me was I didn't have any intention really to write any book on the Nigerian Dream initially. I was in my office that evening when I read 2-3 books at the same time. As a speaker, a trainer and a life coach, I read a lot. I have to. I was reading a book by John Mason, The Enemy Called Average. So that Monday evening, something past 5, as I was reading, I remembered something I needed to check and cross-check from the book by Robert Schuller, Don't Throw Away Tomorrow. So as I turned to the other book to check what I was trying to confirm, so this word just crossed my mind, the Nigerian Dream. Now, I just got through with an audio book, Find Your Voice, talking about what happened a long time ago in Bangladesh. So I drew my system close to me.
Okay.
And then I started pouring out my heart. I just wanted to pour out my heart. And then so I began to type and type and type. This was past 5 p.m. that evening. And then by past 5 on Tuesday evening, the first manual of this book was ready. Wow. So it was just, I just needed to pour my heart out. We've complained enough. Yeah. We've complained about government policies, about inflation, we've complained enough. Let's stop the blame game. Yeah. Let's look inwards. Should we even have a new government that is ready, they can fix everything? We've got our own part to play. So we need to look inwards and see, what do we have to offer back to the country? Not just what does the state have for me. So when you're ready and the government is ready, which we are hoping they will be, we're going to have a balanced equilibrium at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I think that is one of the areas that we also need to be looking at. If the government employs cleaners on the road, to clean the road, I think I as a citizen shouldn't even litter the road. Yeah. So I saw something like that from Fela Durotori's Instagram page yesterday, when on Sunday he and his wife was driving on the street of Lagos, and somebody from the car in the traffic threw out a bottle, and he had to park in the traffic, went to pick up the bottle and give the person back, and said, if only what you can do as a citizen is to ensure that you don't litter the road, I think that's what you're trying to drive out.
Yes, that's one side of it. Yeah. But then what this really talks about is, find your voice means find your purpose. Okay. Find your place. Yeah. Find your essence. Why were you born in a country like Nigeria? Why not somewhere else? You need to find that purpose. And I give illustration of 4 circles. Talent, what you're naturally good at. Okay. Passion, what drives you? What can you suffer while doing? Conscience, that innermost voice within us that tells us what is right and what is wrong. Then need. What need can you meet in the society that can be paid for to drive your economic engine? The center point of these 4 circles, that's where your soul's code is. How can somebody think today, back then in the time of trade by barter, I go to the market with my tomato, hoping to exchange it with potato. So if I go to the market with nothing, I sure will come back with nothing, except I want to go steal or beg. So how can somebody with his right mind think to get money without having any intention to give something back to the society? So when you can bring these 4 things together, it's a universal principle. And principles are self-evident. They are timeless. They are universal. If you bring these 4 circles together, you're sure to find your voice.
Now, so what are the steps you think that is needed in producing a young, transparent politician in this Nigeria of today?
In the Nigeria of today, it's very unfortunate, like I stated, I think in the chapter 4 or so of the book, that it is so unfortunate that the current leadership, I don't mean those who are currently in government, but those who have ruled in the past too, in whatever capacity, cannot, most of them cannot beat their chest that they've led the country in such a way that the coming generation should follow every step they've taken. I really do not think we can have up to 10% of them. So it's something that we need to look inwards and try to find out what are the actual traits of true leadership, and then try and follow suit. We have some countries, China 30, 40 years ago was not where they are today. Yeah. What were those things these people followed through? It's a natural principle. There is no secret somewhere hidden under the rock. It's obvious, it's evident.
It's not about religion.
It's not about religion. Look at China, look at us in Nigeria. We have more of this religion here than there. Recently, I think the Chinese government decided to renew their president, I think it's 10 or something, because they saw what the man was putting in place. If we have such mindset here, this is what this is all about. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. It's all about us. So if it is you being there and that makes it work, so be it. It's for the good of all.
Okay, now let me, Engineer Faye, you as a young person going for councillorship, what are your plans? What are the plans that you have? Can you just highlight to know what you think you can do in the areas you want to handle?
Thank you very much. You know, there is this popular the prayer, the Lord's Prayer, when we say, "Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven."
Yeah.
Do we really imagine what is it really that is in heaven that we pray God for it to happen here on earth? You know, in heaven, as we read in the book of Revelation, that the streets are made of gold. We may not be able to have the streets of gold here on earth, but we can be able to have good roads. Mm-hmm. In heaven, there is steady power supply because Jesus is the light.
Yeah.
Can we be able to achieve that here on earth? There are. If you, for those who are conversant with my word, Carol word, there are quite a number of things that needs to be done. And we can't keep talking. We need to actually start to work.
So what are the plans on ground?
Those are the things I want to rail out now. For example, if you come to Carol, there is poor management of refuse. You can't go from here to the other place to the other end without seeing things littered everywhere. Even where refuse are being disposed is so dirty, and even so for us, ours is to make laws and maybe oversight functions and so on. As a councillor, it's like being a member of House of Rep or a House of Assembly. We are not to kind of enforce.
Yeah, you're not the executive.
You are not the executive, but there are some things we need to do to be able to. There are also constituency projects that we don't really see. The roads are bad. As I mentioned earlier, refuse management is poor.
How do you intend to question or put the executive on their toes to execute what ought to be done? Possibly at the state level, or at the local government level, or at the national
local government level, because I think that is where our own purview is that what I intend to do is because I'm not going there alone. There are other people who will be also elected to look at the laws available, how it affects the constituency, the ward, and then if there are things that we need to tinker with, to adjustments that need to be done for effective monitoring, for effective enforcement of laws that can, and then also if there are constituency projects, because every year there are budgets
for constituencies.
Yes, for constituencies, and yet for years you don't really see anything. So we also need to look at those areas and then also call attention of those involved, that these things have been the monies have been released for it. Why ask government of the day questions why these things that have been budgeted and monies released have not been done. The lives of the common man is not getting any better. So we also need to look at the areas that we can bring about empowerment.
Okay, Mr. Tim, looking, he is a councillorship aspirant, and I wouldn't know. Are there things that you think that in the political circle can be done to ensure that he as a councillor can work in hands with possibly a same mindset as a chairman of a local government to make things work? What are the things that you feel should be put in place for all these things? Is it to review the laws, or is it the persons that needs to be reviewed?
Do they have system in place?
Okay.
Are there structures in place? Where there are systems, where there are structures, and it's not working, structures are made or are meant to be made for the good of those who operate them. It's just like machine. If there's a machine, anytime I try to operate it, or someone wants to try and operate it, it cuts the hand, then that's a bad machine. If the structure doesn't serve the common good of man in any community, then the structure needs to be reviewed. So if the system is not serving the common good, it needs to be reviewed.
Okay.
And if it's being looked into and the structure seems to be okay, then somebody somewhere is usurping power unnecessarily and something needs to be done about it.
Okay, now let me say that. Where can people get this book?
Currently, the book is online. We have it on Jumia, on Shopify.
On Jumia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have it on Jumia, on Shopify. And the hard copy is currently in Lagos. We have it in Lagos, Road 5, J225, Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there are other places too, but basically these are the places we have the book currently. But online, they can get both the hard copy and the
soft copy. All right, because I think it's a book that people need to look into. But as we round up, I want to ask both of you, can the entertainment industry and the church be used as a platform in passing advice to our leaders? Even though some people have said it has been used before over time, but is there anything that needs to be changed to pass correct information to those in leadership positions through the church and the entertainment industry?
Am I talking first?
Yeah.
I would say here, the church is meant to be the conscience of the society. So where the church keeps quiet and keeps mute, evil will thrive. So I will not say the church has done maximally as it's meant to do in Nigeria, the church leadership. So they need to step up more. We have just very few of them who are vocal enough, who are talking. They are the conscience of these people in government. So if they are forthright enough and they speak the truth, that's going to serve a certain measure of purpose.
So what of the entertainers?
Yes, they are doing their bit, I would say. They are doing their bit.
They're doing their bit, will you say more than the church?
I won't comment on that.
All right.
I think it's, for now, it's a wake-up call for both the church and the entertainment industry to speak more to truth, to speak more on things that the government of the day needs to do. Even when you talk about the church, the members of the church are part of the church, and most of them still work in government. Most times you even see that even the political figures we are pointing at, there are those under them that even mess up the process, that most times they are not even aware, but they are being accused. So I believe the church not only to speak to the figures, political figures, but also the members who are part of the political process. The members of the church that are in the National Assembly, that are governors, that are different positions of authority. The church needs to also speak to them, because they also play part in formulation of policies, and even in oversight functions, and even in bringing about execution of some of these things. So I believe the church is doing much.
So what of the entertainers, just to round up?
They need to step up. I think besides that entertainment, they also need to bring in awareness.
Because I think some people felt that the entertainers are no more talking to the government. Everybody just they are
not really, but they have a lot of followers. So I believe that with that they should also use that opportunity to also talk to their followers.
All right. Well, it's been good to have my guests in the studio. We have more things to talk about, but there is no time, and I hope we can come back next time to continue on this discourse. And it's good to have Engineer Ifeanyi Uzochukwu here, and we wish you well. Thank you for coming on this program. And Mr. Tim Atimoe, thank you for coming.
A pleasure.
We hope to have you again, so as to possibly dissect more on the book and get people aware, because that's actually the purpose of the program towards 2019 election. If the youths is said to have above 60% of the population of this country,